Hi, I'm Vanessa from Ellie and Mac Patterns, and welcome back to my sewing room. Today we're going to be making the Maxi skirt you're going to live in all season long. We're not just adding length to the Jasmine Jogger, we're going to show you how to baste your way to the perfect pleats and how to make adjustments for a fuller bottom. Not only that, we're going to be hammering in grommets. And just for fun, I'm going to do a banded hem on this Jasmine Jogger. Let's get started. Since I'm alone in my sewing room today, I'm going to have to make these measurements by myself. I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to put it underneath my big toe, and then gently come all the way up, measuring to my natural waist, which is about 40 inches. Let's take this to my cutting table and make the adjustments. Now I'm going to take the measuring tape over to my sewing table, starting at 0 and measuring all the way down to 40 inches. Now I'm 5'5", so I know I don't need 40 inches. So I subtract 2 inches for the waistband. I also subtract 2 inches so it's off the floor, as well as 1 inch because I want to do the banded hem. So I'll be cutting my skirt at the 35 inches instead of the 40. Let's get cutting. I'm showing how to cut the front of the skirt here, but make sure you do the exact same thing on the back of the skirt. I did move my measuring tape so I don't cut it, and then cut along the bottom as well as the sides all the way down to 35 inches. So here I'm going to start doing the markings. So I marked at above the knee for my slit, but I wish I would have came up just a little bit further. So remember this, or you can come to your mid-thigh. Whatever slit you would like works best for you. The trick with perfect pleats is to start with perfectly marked lines. So I marked the front with white chalk, but then I went back and I actually marked the inside with red. Now it's time to cut the banded hem. I'm cutting it at 2.5 inches, so it's 1 inch wide after I subtract seam allowance. I'm going to be cutting this the same width as the front of my skirt, so I can easily attach it without it being too long or too short and causing ripples. The back is cut into 2 separate pieces, so I want to make sure that this piece goes all the way along the back and does not have the center seam. So I am cutting it on the fold, and then again I'm measuring at 2.5 inches, and then I'm going to take the seam allowance from the center, so I'm going to cut it 1/2 inch shorter than what the actual skirt is. To do the pleats, I actually line up my white lines, and then I know I'm going to sew down 3 inches on my red lines. So I'm going to be basting our pleat down just about 1/4 inch so I don't have to pick it out later. All right, so this is what our basted in pleats look like. This is what it looks like from the back. I often get asked why we baste, and the reason why is it prevents tears. I'm not even kidding. If you take the time to baste things in like your pleats in your pockets, you're going to end up with a perfect sew every time. So I've added on the inside pocket, and this pocket I'm going to understitch. Understitching is just where you move the serge over and you top stitch it on the underside of the pocket. I have it all nicely understitched, and then I added the outside pocket. Now here I'm going to fold it under just like it would sit, and then I'm going to baste along the top so that way it will not do any weird folds when I'm adding on the waistband. All right, and you can see that stitch that we had from our pleat still in there. So there we have it. Nice and secure. Now it's time to add grommets. I'm going to actually head over next door to my neighbor's house, Jessica. You might know her as Ellie and Mac's social media manager, but for me, she's a gadget guru. Okay, so I'm over here at Jess's and not in your sewing room.
We're not in my sewing room today. Today we are in my garage because we have tools.
All right, so Jessica is a pro at doing grommets, and now she is going to show us how to do it.
Yes.
Okay, let's get started.
Yeah, so this was our test, and it turned out pretty well. So what you need for this is a punch and or
Where did you get this punch from, and what exactly is it for?
Yes, okay, so this is a leather punch that I got from Harbor Freight. It was $6.
Oh, wow.
So they're super affordable, and you can rotate the dial to whatever size you need. If you're using a thin piece of fabric like this is interfaced, but we want to put a little piece of cardboard behind it, or else the punch just can't do its job. So,
and I did do a thicker, I did not do knit interfacing because I knew we were going to do this, and I only put it in the area that we're going to be doing it at. And make sure that you mark your center line as well as where you want your grommets placed when you're cutting. So first, because I have the circles drawn on the interfacing because it's a little easier to see, you need to be able to see them on the front side. So I'm going to take the little scissors that she already has. Look how nice these are. They have a curve. Do you see that? That is perfect for cutting in a circle. And we're going to make sure I got the center of it and make a tiny little hole. Not that tiny, that tiny. And then I'm going to push it through, and that way you can see where the center of each of these holes need to go.
All right, so now we're gonna layer that. We have just a little piece of cardboard from a box. And we're gonna layer that here on the back of each of these holes, and find where that little hole is, and grab the punch, and I have it on the largest size here. We already tested this just to make sure that that would work.
And if you don't have one of these, you can just cut it around it, the size of the hole punch with just scissors.
Right.
But not the size of the circle.
Yeah, so I can show you in just a second how you would determine that. So here is where we're going to do the punch, and I'm gonna make sure it's lined up right there and press really hard until it clicks. And so we've made our little hole, and just kind of grab the scissors and even that out if it didn't work all the way, just because this is not leather and that is a leather punch. Okay, so if you wanted to just cut it with scissors, this is the size of our grommet. So you could just lay it over the hole like this and grab a little marking pen or even just a regular pen and just draw that little circle so that you know how big to make it. But see, on this one, we've got our hole already, so we're just gonna pop it through.
And the fabric is coming up. You want to make sure the fabric does not come down.
Correct. So we're going to put it through the front to make sure that fabric goes to the back. So that was our front, and this is the back. So since we already have the front in there, we're just going to put this back on. And it has two different sides. We want this side that's kind of curved up onto here. And next we have an anvil and a setter.
And you got this from Wawa, correct?
I got this from Wawa, yes.
As well as the grommets themselves.
And the grommets. And the grommets and the anvil and the setter, they all have to be the right size, the same size. So if you got different size grommets, you would have to have a different size anvil and setter for it.
Okay, that's so cool. And this is heavy.
Yeah, like, super heavy duty. So that's why we're here, because we need a place that's strong. This is my husband's tool bench.
Crazy as it can be, I do not have very many strong surfaces for some reason in my sewing room.
All right, so I'm just gonna lay the front down onto the anvil and make sure it's the same size, so it just kind of goes into the place there. And then we're gonna grab this and put it through the hole. That part's easy. And then I have a really big mallet. You can use a regular hammer, but it says on the instructions to use a mallet. So there we go. And next thing I'm gonna do is just hit this really hard 5 times. So maybe 7. And then we're gonna see if I got it all the way down in there. Yep.
Oh wow, look how perfect that is. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That looks great. And then we just have to do the other one. So
okay. Here we are, all done. Look at that.
it looks so good.
Thank you so much for the help. We appreciate it. Isn't she amazing? We'll have to keep having her do some gadget guru for us again.
Yeah.
Now we have to go finish the skirt. So I've added my grommets to the back of my waistband, and normally you'd add the elastic just in the back, but because my waist to hip ratio and my hips are kind of narrow, but it's all in my bottom, I'm actually going to add the elastic all the way through. I think this is a great hack if you notice that your pleats are pulling a little bit too much in earlier sews. Okay, I'm all clipped up and ready to go. My grommets are facing down. I have everything clipped, and you can see that my basting is still right there, ready to hold when I do this serge all the way around. I'm going to leave an opening so I can bring the elastic in, and then I'm going to show you how I finish with that elastic. Before I add my elastic, I want to take a look at these pleats I have basted. So I'm just going to open them up and look how nicely those sit. Now it's time to add the elastic. So I'm going to find the opening that I left when I sewed on the waistband, and I'm just going to fish my elastic through. All right, now I'm going to sew this together in a box and an X, and then we'll close up the hole and then we'll meet back together. So now I'm going to push all the extra fabric onto my elastic into the back. This way it'll stay just like the pattern with the gathered back and then the straight front. Now I want to secure the elastic so most of the gathering is in the back. So I'm going to be sewing a lightning stitch on the seams. I'm going to do the top half, leaving room for my tie, and then I'll do the bottom half. You'll hardly see this stitch because it will be right in the seam. I was a little worried if my safety pin would fit in my grommets, and sure enough it did, and I'm so happy. Now it's time to see if it's going to fit in that opening I left, and sure enough it does. So I'm just going to finish this up and we'll move on to the next step. So here I have the band at my bottom of the skirt. I'm going to fold it over and serge it closed. Then I flip the bands out and I'm going to line them up with the edge of my skirt, and I'm going to clip all the way across. I'm going to do this with both the front and the back, and then I'm going to take it back to my serger and serge it on. After I serge it on, I iron it down, and here I'm just top stitching along the edge to give it a nice finished detail and hold the serge where I want it. What do you think? I'm all done with my Maxi Jasmine Jogger. I love all the details of this skirt, the pockets, the pleats, the ties. It's so adorable. Now I made this out of a sweater knit, and though it was difficult to sew, I have to say I feel like I'm being wrapped up in kittens. A big thanks to Jessica for her help with the grommets, and check out Deanna's full tutorial of the Jasmine Jogger. Thank you so much for watching. A like and subscribe would be wonderful.